Hello.
Oh, man.
It's going to be one of those.
I'm St.
Welcome
Jimmy.
to the Enginerdy Show. I am DVD. With me is St. Jimmy,
I'm Mr. Pold.
Mr. Giggly, and
Special guest, Rachel, our sister.
Do I get a special name?
you can. What do you want?
Well,
your
I
name?
don't know, I thought you got to do more
What's
fun
Rachel
with you guys.
backwards?
The car.
Le car.
It's French for the car.
Oh, your nickname's the car.
Okay.
The car.
It's just going to be the French car.
The car.
Peugeot.
The French car.
All right, there's Peugeot now. Sorry.
I don't think I can pronounce that.
Do you break down a lot?
I thought it was
No.
Oh, you're not a Peugeot. Then.
Pugot.
Pugot.
Hugget.
Our fake sponsor this week is Books on Scotch Tape. Now you can read while you wrap your Christmas gifts.
I don't want to read books on duct tape.
Try making that one, Charlie.
Books on duct.
Duct tape.
Written in duck.
Well, this is the good part.
It's getting exciting.
Heathcliff. Wuthering Heights. in
Book on
Duck.
Painter's tape by
Quackering Heights.
Wuthering Ducks. I don't know.
Bob Ross. Painting on Scotch or Painter's tape.
Oh, I can't breathe.
Masking tape of Zorro. You have to breathe. Because it's going to get warm in here. Because they shut our fan off.
Oh no.
Sorry, I didn't mean
We've
to-
lost one of our fans.
You only had one.
We have the fan here in studio.
The one that makes us cool.
Pope? No.
The Pope's our fan?
That'd be cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I guess.
That's why from now on we're going to do all of our podcasts in Latin.
Pig Latin.
Oh, nay.
You don't want to watch me do math the whole show, so don't speak in Pig Latin.
Oh boy. There's a song that they sing in Pig Latin.
Yeah, it is. It's a
Lighter Shade of Brown.
Yeah. My favorite musical group.
It's their version of Devil Goes Down to Georgia.
I don't think I've heard it. How does it go?
What?
Bill and Rhyme.
I was trying to think how it starts.
You get back down.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Spill the wine, spill the wine.
Also have Spill the Wine, which is a different song.
Yeah.
Yes.
Similar. So I got a
Alright.
new grill.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Are you a gorilla?
It's
Oh,
a
not your face. Okay.
wood pellet grill.
You got a
Ooh.
George Washington.
So it's similar to the one I have.
Yeah.
But you got the bigger one, right?
It's a different brand.
Oh, is it?
French car guy.
Yes.
Mm.
It's like a bighorn something. Although I don't plan on eating any sheep.
Sheep.
You too sheepish?
Yeah.
Bah.
I could eat sheep. I've done it before.
But the wool gets in your teeth?
Yes.
You're doing it wrong.
It's hard to get through the husk.
Well, you have to grasp it by the husk.
You have to peel it first.
It was sheerly impossible.
That's a bad joke. Oh boy.
Oh.
I was laughing too much and I can't see the screen.
Oh boy. So,
Just laughing affect your vision?
Mr.
Well, when you start,
You need supervision.
I just tear up because you're laughing so much.
So D Viddy saw this right out. So my office is in the machine shop at work, and I have a window that looks out onto this aisle. And somebody decided to put a cabinet on that wall
Right in front of your
Blocking
window.
right in front of my window. Well, they decided to use it for a silent auction, so they set up a table there right in front of my window with all these papers that people have to write bids on. So all day people are like staring at me through the window, and several times come in my office to ask to borrow a pen. It's like, oh my
no.
gosh.
What you do is you start winking at them.
That's the opposite
Just
of.
rub your chest up on the window like a, what was that, cable guy? Oh, Billy! You guys remember that part?
Yes, I do.
Okay, good. I was like, did I make that up in my brain?
Unfortunately.
I just think I saw that.
I don't think I'll be doing that though. I do like my job.
No, just lock your door. As you're heading towards the door, just run over and lock it.
Just do magic tricks. Make it look like you're shoving the pen up your nose. That way they don't want to borrow it. Up the nose, out the ear.
Here you go.
I should just coat it with like blue dye
Vaseline.
and then just hand it to him by the end.
Vaseline. You just throw it to them. I have no choice but to try to catch it. Just keep one that's out of ink.
And they would come back in.
Have another one.
Coat it with
What kind is
syrup or sticky
Have
marshmallow.
two that are out of ink, and
Get
each
them
time they come back in, I hand them the other
You
one.
one of those gigantic permanent markers.
Those 2 foot long pencils that are like an inch in diameter.
I was telling my friend as we were walking away from your office that we should go back and, because you have all the people's information, just start writing their information on other sheets with higher bids.
Or just pick one
Wow,
guy
this guy
and
bid $800 on
bid
this.
really high on everything.
Yeah.
That would be mean. But so is putting it right
I
outside my
know,
office.
that's just
That
annoying.
cabinet was supposed to be there for like 3 weeks.
Don't you have a boss?
And that was over a year ago that they moved it there.
You should just start moving it slowly,
I've thought about that.
like an inch, one direction at a time.
I just tell people, one of these days when I'm having a bad day, I'm just going to go tip it over.
It could be an accident.
Through the window?
No, I have to go
The other
out
way.
there.
The other, sideways.
No, I meant push it through the window.
Oh, push it into my office? No, that'd be interesting.
Don't you guys have like portal cranes in there?
No, we have bridge cranes.
Bridge cranes. There you go. Go just grab it with a crane and
Well-
move it someplace else.
I'm not allowed to go in the bridge cranes. Not because I did anything in them previously, just
You're not
because
allowed anymore.
only certain people are
He
allowed
kept
to go
rubbing
in
his chest up against it.
them.
That crane in little. You put a coat on it.
Well, I went on vacation this week.
What?
I know. I stopped by.
I didn't know
you were
gone.
Yeah.
There was someone sitting at your desk that was not you, but they claimed to be you.
They were lying.
I was confused.
Did you start talking like them like they were me?
Yo
Yes.
soy tall. I was going to say his real name, but then I realized I shouldn't.
Bistupol? No, I didn't do that. We were exploring your building,
Oh, cool.
which I felt very awkward.
I bet.
Wearing the climbing
is-
gear.
It is an awkward building.
But you
There's
can
a bunch of
count my
engineers
friend. Yeah, of all the people I talked to in the building, no one introduced themselves to me. I don't know even his name. But don't know what my shoes look like.
I'll go in, hey, did anyone see a guy in
Adidas?
here with size 11 shoes that
Yeah.
they're describing? Oh, yeah, we saw that guy. That's my
Oh,
brother.
the black Adidas, white stripes?
Oh.
Like the suede shoes? Yeah, we saw him. That's what I'm wearing.
No, it was pretty cool. We rented a house that's near a mountain. So I guess in the winter, people
House?
rent out the places to go skiing. But we went there in the summer.
Oh, the house is to go skiing.
Yeah.
Do they have downhill mountain biking?
Not that I was aware of.
They do that in some places. They keep the chairlifts open so you can take your dirt bike up the
But we
chairlift
had-
and then-
We had my 2 daughters come and one of my daughter's fiancés. She's
Just
Wow! How many fiancés does she have?
Wow,
She
do
only
they
has
know about
one.
each other?
only one of my daughters,
He has
and she has
personality.
one fiancé.
Uno?
So far.
What's one for French? Or French for one?
Mm.
Un fiancé? La fiancé? No. La.
But it was pretty fun.
Oui.
There was one night we made a fire,
Oh,
and
We didn't
in the
start
cabin?
the fire.
no, there
Oh.
was a fire pit outside, and
Oh.
we roasted marshmallows and made s'mores.
oh.
Well, I had my daughter make the fire. because
She did start the fire.
I don't know how to make fires.
No,
That's weird.
I filled my wife's pickup up with dirt
Oh, I'm glad you said dirt.
twice.
How did she drive it?
No, I was helping. I was
Oh,
helping.
I
a
know
service
that.
project.
I know
get
who
it.
you were helping.
Somebody, we needed a service project for our scouts, and somebody was needing some dirt removed from their yard.
And someone needed some dirt.
And
but
somebody
you wanna
else
make sure,
needed
make
dirt.
sure it wasn't for him.
It was
Even
for
though
him.
I know, but it wasn't. The service project
Oh.
wasn't for him.
Yeah, the other scout leader.
Yes.
We were removing the dirt. It just happened to be going to the scout leader's house.
Convenient.
Convenient.
I
Huh?
like those kind of service projects.
Is he making a dirt floor in his house?
I have command
Yeah.
over these 11-year-olds. Somebody help them move my dirt for me. Smart.
The
Today we're
pickup
going to learn how
acquitted
to change
itself
oil
quite well.
and then wash a car.
We moved some dirt last Saturday. We had like 8 inches of rain in like 12 hours, and a friend of ours
So you're moving mud.
rode.
So it was a mudslide.
Well, no, we were moving the gravel back on
Oh.
the road and evening it out so they could get in and out of the road. So
No.
that's kind of service projects we do.
Sounds
Cool.
like they need to buy a truck.
They do have a truck.
Oh, with a dumpster, a little pusher thing.
Oh, they had a little tractor that had that, and they were,
Oh, that's cool.
Like a little bobcat.
yeah. But that,
Wow.
so they moved the gravel down, but we were moving the gravel that had gone down off the road into the
Oh.
grass back onto the road,
Mm.
and then filling in all the ruts that the streams made.
Ooh, don't cross the streams. The more you know.
Uh,
I'm on vacation though.
You're on vacation right
I
now?
am, yeah. All the way in Zimbabwe. Never thought I'd be
Yeah.
here.
It's kind of warm, huh?
Yes.
Especially the fake rhinos. You gotta watch out for those.
Yes.
the only podcast from a fake rhino.
Zimbabwe!
That's what I was hoping
We're
for.
recording from inside a fake rhino.
It's a very
right now.
large one. The blue rhino.
I was wondering why it smelled like propane in here.
Sorry.
So I took my son golfing with me. That was fun. We got to drive the golf cart.
Was he the caddy?
Nope,
Oh.
I let him play.
Oh, you were the caddy.
Nope,
Oh.
I was also playing. We played together. It's funny, I told him, okay, I'm going to put a tea time and it's going to be early. He's like, okay. So like the night before, I was like, okay, it's time for you to go to bed. We have a 7 o'clock tea time, which means you have to get up at 5:30. He's like, what?
That's the way you punish
But
the
then I
kid.
overslept and got up at 6, so got him up at 6:20, and we actually got there early. So,
Wow.
Nice.
and we showed up, and the one door to the clubhouse was locked, and I didn't see anyone around. So went to the other door, and that was unlocked, and the guy was in there getting ready. He's like, "Oh, I was wondering if you guys were going to show up." We put the tea time in, and
'Cause
7 o'clock meant he'd have to be there too.
no, hardly anyone ever comes home early.
I guess. Yeah, we didn't see anybody on the course. We
Huh.
basically had it to ourselves. I think we were just finishing up the last couple of holes. We maybe saw some people just starting out on the first hole.
Sounds like the way to do it.
Yeah, Monday morning at 7 a.m. We're going to do it again here in a couple weeks, I think. Because
Cool.
his Christmas present was 2 golf outings with me.
Nice.
Yes, I came up with that gift idea.
It's for him though, really.
Yeah, it was great. There's actually one hole where you have to hit like 170 yards to clear a big crevasse that goes down with foliage in the bottom.
It's not
So,
one of those uppy
And a
ones.
troll.
so you can never find your ball get in there. And I gave him a couple of shots of trying to get over it. He finally cleared it, but then he hooked it left into the trees. We lost it in the brush. But over, so he made it over. That was good.
I went disc golfing with my son. It's his obsession. And so when
Oh.
we were in Portland, we found this 10 cage or hole, whatever you want to call it,
Basket.
basket. And
10?
yeah, it was some pasture made on their church grounds. And
Oh, okay.
it was like up this hill, and then you go down this hill, and then you go up this hill. So it was a lot of walking. And I was thankful it was only 10 because, yeah, by about 8, I was like,
I went with my friend from work, and I finally accused him. Wait, you just are trying to get me to hike. It's a lot of hiking.
There's some decent courses around here.
we were hoping to get some.
Where I
in.
play golf, there's actually a course, but it's $10.
Oh, we paid before. In
But
Williamsburg,
there's one just as nice, I think, that's free.
we prefer free.
But you have to deal with the people that are also there.
We'll go at 7 in the morning.
Yeah.
You'll probably have the place to
All
yourself.
the potheads are still sleeping.
Oh.
I mean, just kids.
And me.
I just know we went out and we're doing this one. There's a girl that was ahead of us, and we walked up to her hole, and she was just sitting there smoking. And she's like, "Oh, you guys play through. I'm just taking a break." All right. Okay.
I would do that, but I was like 8 months pregnant, and so I had to stop every
You
hole.
must have been smoking pot.
No.
I was actually surprised that she could afford weed with as many bumper stickers that were on the car. I figured, oh, paycheck win the bumper stickers. Put them on the front.
Yeah, why don't they put bumper stickers on the front?
Like mirror ones. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Most cars have a flat spot on the front to put one.
No, just cover the radiator, girl.
That's a good idea.
I mean, you could
Throw
do
on the
that to
windshield.
people's cars for them.
For the headlights.
They have bumper stickers for other people's cars.
Oh, do they?
Honk if you hate the cops. Just around the mall parking lot. I've got a lot of bad ideas.
Yeah, you do.
It's a good thing I use my powers for good.
Yeah.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Usually.
The other thing about
Ish.
the vacation house we went to is there was a hot tub, so we got to
Oh my.
What? You got to
soak
cook
in the
yourself?
hot tub.
Set it to boil.
Oh yeah. Oh, they had a foosball table at the community center
Oh.
there, and so I don't think I'd ever mentioned to my wife that
Oh, you're good at
how
foosball?
good at foosball I am. So when we played, I played against her and one of my daughters, and I just decimated them.
Yeah, I'm also good at foosball.
So
I am not. I always lost.
I have a
Against
foosball
you
table,
two.
but it's very
Foosball's a
horrible.
devil.
oh, and this foosball table was exactly the same as the one we had as a
Oh, I want one.
I
Did you
wanted
still
it.
remember all the guys' names?
I was like, you think they'd notice if we threw this in the truck and we drove home with this?
There's actually one at my
Probably.
barber shop that is very similar to the one we had.
Oh.
It's very sturdy looking.
The problem with a lot of foosball tables I've seen since then is they're small.
Yeah, the
And
one I have is
the
small
stoop and it
and cheap.
hurts my back.
That's why I need to build one.
Yeah, do it.
We can make it pirate themed.
DVD and I used to have tournaments where we'd play to 100 points.
Whoa.
I think it started out because somebody would win and like, well, let's play to 20. And then somebody would win and like, let's play to 30.
When I first went to college, I had the foosball table as my living room
Oh,
piece. We'd play and hang laundry on it
sweet.
to dry.
Do you play it
Because
while
we're
the
cheap.
laundry's hanging on?
No,
Oh,
but
okay.
there's this guy that
dries it faster.
we've had
Spin that.
It's like, oh,
he's like, oh, I want to play foosball. I was like, I'm really good. I don't lose to people since I was like
I
12.
take
He's
no
like,
prisoners.
no, I think I could beat you. I was skunking him. He's like, I feel like I'm getting better. I'm like, you were not.
Better losing.
I'm grabbing the right poles now.
my goalie hasn't even touched the ball. Just,
Yeah, with the spinner people.
oh, the
Just-
people that just spin?
yeah,
Yeah, you've got to have
It's a
control.
it's like a switch.
Can you impress them by having one of the guys on the bar pass it to the
Yeah,
other one and
and then score.
take it in? Yeah.
They're shooting at an angle.
And you're commentating.
Goal! Detach a guy and run around the field, tie around his knees. Have you guys seen that commercial with
Yes, I have.
the celebrating guy? Where he goes
Mhm.
to slide after a goal and he just keeps on going. He's like doing tracks around the field.
I don't watch commercials.
Neither do I.
Oh, these are commercials that come up when you're trying to watch.
The World Cup.
When did I see this? I was watching some video on the internet and it interrupted with a commercial.
It's very funny. If you're gonna watch a commercial, that'd be the one to watch.
Okay, I'll remember
Yeah.
that.
I
don't
wouldn't
know what
mind.
celebrate
I wouldn't
for-
mind my video being
for-
interrupted by a commercial if it was that commercial.
Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, I just went and looked for that commercial on its own. But they had another commercial before I could watch that one. I was like,
What?
how does that work? Come on, YouTube, really?
That's funny.
You're monetizing your commercials now?
There's
Other
also
commercials?
basketball hoop, and so we played horse. I got 0 letters and won handily
Really? Against who?
against my future son-in-law and my daughter.
Who
Oh,
can't
okay.
spell?
You had numbers though,
Are
right?
you sure there's an X in
Well,
there?
what I found was that we all had a similar skill level, and so every time it was my turn to shoot, I would just shoot from the free throw line, and it was a game of just outlasting them.
That sounds boring.
No, that's the way you win at horse. If you're
Oh, yeah.
if you're not as good as the other players, then you go for the wild shots because you're just as likely to make the wild shots as other shots.
That's
and
me.
It makes it harder for them. But if you're all about the same skill level, you're basically challenging them to a free throw contest.
I had a conversation with someone playing, I think, church basketball. I can't remember who it was, but they were like, "No, you need to shoot when you get a better shot." Instead of, I was like, "I had just as much chance of going in as one of my other shots. And if you don't want me to shoot, I'm not going to play. It's no fun not to shoot. So I'm going to do my no-look hook shot and make it 25% of the time. That's fine." In elementary school, I remember we wanted our game of horse to last the entire recess period.
Like hippopotamus.
We played elephant back rider.
Oh, there you go.
Can you smell it?
I think I'd
That way
lose
no one was
track.
out. I think I can now. Depends if you're saying elephant back rider or writer.
Oh,
Because you could write a book on the back of an elephant and then make you an elephant back rider.
we're writing about elephant backs.
That'd be weird.
Ode to elephant back.
Can't believe how strange that is.
It's very
The
gray.
first time I saw an elephant
The
back,
back was gray. There were little hairs
Tufts of
sticking
hair.
out.
quite stiff
I believe it's a
fur.
mammal.
You can't tell from the back, though.
It's basically a land whale.
Usually you can only tell from the front,
Land whale.
from the underneath.
You'd think they'd swim well with those ears.
We call it the landity.
You don't do well being underneath the
Did you guys hear they're doing a live action Dumbo movie?
Yes.
I can't wait to watch the credits when it says 10 elephants were killed. Like, we couldn't get it to grab the stupid
Is it
feather
gonna
and then it would
be-
let go.
Is it going to be as racist?
Oh,
How's
boy.
that racist?
Crows.
They were played by.
It was okay.
The voice actors were
Racist
appropriate
against
to the way that
elephants.
they were speaking.
Yes, it was just like grotesquely stereotype.
So you can do that by yourself, I think. Or is that
It was written by a bunch of Jewish guys.
everything is?
Exactly.
Like
I'm
Childish
right and I'm not
Gambino, he was
Jewish.
being accused of slight plagiarism. And then it said who his producer was, and it was a guy with a Jewish name. It's like, and he was definitely Jewish. When I saw a picture of him, I was like, "Wait, that guy's writing the African American music now?"
Been doing it for a while.
But the guy that he was slightly, not plagiarizing, but very similar themes, and some of the lines were similar. It's like, yeah, it's cool. We got the same message.
For nerdiculture, I
Written.
thought we'd talk about tacos.
Taco.
No, I just want
I
to
like
know
tacos.
what the difference between a taco and a burrito is.
Well-
Somebody enlighten me.
At my house, a burrito is just like beans, meat, and cheese. A taco
That's
has like beef and vegetables.
When I go to the store and I buy the appropriate container for the meat and cheese, if it says taco shells, it's hard and it's
So
crunchy.
is it a taco if the U-shaped hard shell only has meat and salsa in it?
Yes.
Who does that?
Me.
Well, you're a freak.
Okay.
Do you guys
cheese,
ever just
too.
like
is it a
ground
taco?
beef and then put ketchup?
Or is
No.
it a hard burrito?
It's
No,
a
that's
hard
gross.
burrito. A
Okay.
What?
No, I don't either. I mean,
What? I missed that.
a bowl of ground beef and
Oh, I used to do
ketchup.
That's called a taco salad.
that without any shell.
They
I
call
don't eat ketchup
They call
though.
it meat soup.
That's called
Don't knock it
meatloaf.
till you try it.
It's
Make sure
oat-free
you have
meatloaf.
make sure you get enough fat content on your beef that there's liquid.
In our house, a taco is folded in half and a burrito is rolled.
You're way off.
That's the only difference.
We have soft tacos.
Tacos or burritos are bigger.
Yes, in soft tacos, you fold in half.
No.
Burritos come in multi-packs, so you
really
eat
eat
multiple ones.
enchiladas
But
in
if you
my
get a burrito, you have one because it's big.
So when you go to a restaurant, that is the case. Burritos are larger
They're a
than
full plate.
tacos,
And you get like 3 tacos.
but they don't usually have like lettuce in them.
I don't ever eat lettuce in
Burritos don't?
Mexican
Yeah.
food.
I don't put burritos in my burritos.
That's a
What
key
if
I
thing
need
here.
lettuce in my
You're
burritos.
sick.
What if you put tacos in your burrito? Does that make it a burrito or
It
a
makes
taco?
it
If you roll
a
it.
taco burrito.
What about if you put burritos in your taco?
Then it's a
Now, do you guys
burrito
like
taco.
hard shell tacos?
No.
I don't
They're
either.
messy.
No.
Yeah,
they're
the
too
flavor's fine,
There's
but
no
it's
flavor.
hard to eat.
I don't
messy.
like.
Everything falls out in my hand, and then I'm licking everything out of
I don't
my
like
hand.
when I'm like trying to eat it, and then I think I didn't have ketchup. I wasn't just bleeding from my gums from the sharp shards of the shell taking into my
Does
flesh.
your blood taste like ketchup?
Yes,
Oh,
You need to cut back on the sugar.
it's the tomatoes that really
No.
get you.
I
Yeah, when
need
they had-
tomatoes.
When I was giving
Get your
blood, they had to
fruit.
get that pump to get it out.
of your veins?
It's thick like ketchup.
It's like a peanut butter pump. They have those. They'll pump peanut butter.
Oh,
Yeah.
They have
It's
a
a
big
liquid.
impeller.
peanut butter.
Big impeller.
What about the peanuts?
It only
It
pumps
reminds me of when the place I used to work, they would have vendors come and show off their civil engineering products. They usually provide lunch. Well, they got almost everyone in the room to set their sandwich down because they were showing these pumps that are for pumping things out of manholes of certain varieties. It's like, oh, you can pump peanut butter. And they showed a picture of the inside of a manhole. It was like, it was a sewer manhole.
Nice.
Aw,
It was
that's
gross.
what I figured.
I think I kept eating.
I did a project for like an intro to engineering class where you had to like put peanut butter between 2 crackers and put them in a package, and
So you and your
it was
lab partner.
it was about quality control because then they weighed them to make sure they met the requirements, and
Mm.
you had to have your procedure.
Then you did destructive testing on them.
No, but some people had like the peanut butter in like a big syringe.
Okay.
That's
they
how
could
I
get-
take my peanut butter.
Get it out, you know.
So you directly inject it right into your veins.
They had all these fancy like boards where they had holes for all the crackers, and then you would squeeze the peanut butter out of like a caulk gun. We just took a plastic knife.
Show up with your Lunchables.
Well, the thing was, you had to train somebody else to do them, so you
Oh.
weren't the one doing it. So we just got a plastic knife, drew a line on it, and said, "Put it this far into the peanut butter, scoop it out, and put it on the cracker, and then mash it together." And we made way more crackers than anybody else.
Wow.
I've made crackers.
Your mom's a oh.
Cracker goes to college.
So,
Yes.
what was the name that we came up for our guest?
I have
The
no
French
idea.
car.
The French car.
Le car.
Pujol. Listener Rachel.
The car.
How long have you been listening to the show?
About 5 years.
It's like, how old
What?
is
How long
Same
have we
Jimmy?
been on the air?
Well, this is episode 280,
Whoa!
so divide by 50-ish.
50-ish.
Well, 5 times
So you've been listening from the beginning.
52
Yes.
is 200.
Who's your favorite engineer?
Oh, no.
You are Mr. Paul.
Wait, I was supposed to slip you $1 before the show.
I mean, funny,
Sounds
she's
like
like,
I didn't need to.
she's like, LFG, of course.
Oh.
So I master
Or it
Zed.
could be Charlie.
So what do you like most about the show?
I like that it makes me.
culture.
Yeah, nerdiculture. That's another 5.
Oh,
No, I like that
it.
It makes me laugh, and that I just enjoy listening to you guys because I've grown up with you guys and I know you, and it makes me.
If you can call it growing up.
What?
I said I grew up.
Oh.
So I didn't say you grew up.
I grew up in your
Believe that.
vicinity.
So it makes me feel at home and warm fuzzies, I guess.
That's our new segment. Instead of random news, we're doing warm fuzzies from now on.
That's why we do the show, because we like to laugh.
What did you bring in for warm fuzzies today?
Old
These are my
cheese.
socks. Old cheese.
Kept it in my armpit the whole
You went
time.
there already.
I keep it in the vent of the car.
We Makes you a Ventador.
Mm.
This is the lint from my belly button.
Your belly button's lint's usually blue.
Oh.
Why is that?
Then why is mine red? No,
You go see a
Saving it
doctor.
up.
no, I don't get belly button lint.
I do.
I do too, a lot.
Oh.
It's like a sarlacc on my belly. Oh. It takes millennia for it to digest it.
Boba Fett's in there right now.
If you pull the hair on my back, it comes out the front.
You're sick.
That was not a visual.
Should I see a doctor for that?
Do you guys have questions for our guest? He can probably prepare very well.
What's your least favorite thing about Mr. Pold?
No, it's going wrong. It's so wrong.
His proximity?
PDAs with my wife.
Do you want me to answer that?
Just put it out there.
No, I do wish y'all lived closer. Or I guess I lived closer to you.
What do you think St. Jimmy's least favorite thing about Mr. Pold is?
I heard him complaining about his shoes.
Oh,
Oh,
That's
is it because I interrupt him?
Actually, that's usually the best part because
Ooh.
St. Jimmy
that's
just
slander.
just keeps going with it. And,
salamander?
He's good at that.
yeah, doesn't get flustered.
Salaslander.
Yeah, that's when you make fun of Janeway's kids.
They're Paris' kids too. I can't believe they abandoned them.
I
What's
still
that
think we
Paris?
should do a salamander spin-off.
Wait, if they de-evolve, could they evolve them quickly?
No,
Or
they didn't de-evolve. That's what we're going to evolve into, according to them.
So can't they de-evolve the children?
It's natural selection, okay?
So what?
Why? We're selecting away from fingers. No one uses
I
them
wonder
anyways.
if the salamanders are really smart, though. Like, could they build up a civilization? And
No.
Fly a spaceship.
can they have kids that aren't totally inbred?
No.
So they just can't reproduce?
I'm surprised they didn't get Janeway's hair.
That would have been awesome. The helmet hair?
Just one of them.
Oh, you can tell which one got their hair from Janeway.
The squeaky, annoying one.
Oh, look, it died.
Again.
You guys
Oh,
actually
good.
talked about Star Trek so much that I went and watched all of them except for the original.
Oh.
All the way from Next Generation to Voyager. So I could, because I've seen them
Understandable.
all when they first came out, most of them anyway.
Yeah,
I
So,
didn't know many of them came out.
so I decided I should watch them. Thanks to you guys, I enjoyed it. Actually, I watched them so much that my husband thought that for my birthday he should get me the Star Trek box set of movies.
Nice.
And I'm like,
My wife's a Trekkie now.
and I'm like, what? And he's like, well, you've been watching a lot of Star Trek. And I'm like, it doesn't mean I want the movies.
The movies are great.
Some of them
I
are.
think they're still in
There be whales.
plastic.
Wrath of Khan's good.
VCR.
It wasn't those ones.
VHS.
It was the Next Generation
On
movies.
beta.
Oh, Generations and
Oh, those are all on Netflix.
First Contact.
Is that me?
Well, you know, sometimes husbands have a hard time knowing what to buy for their wives.
Well, he went with our friend, and our friend said that he tried to talk him out of it.
Oh,
But he's like, no, she's really into
That's
Star
where
Trek.
you're wrong.
I remember when I thought I would be, well, the kids wanted to get these presents for her, so why should I shut down what the kids want to get her? Well, because she told me from then on I had to. She got pink furry everything.
Nice.
She got like a footstool. It was like a foam cube with pink fur. She got like hat and gloves
And
were pink fur.
Just to let you in, when we picked up cookies for you today, she said that next time you should pick her up flowers.
Mm.
The flowers don't taste as good as cookies.
I'll get her a big bag of flour.
Get her two different
Okay.
It
kinds.
shows that he's kind of
Okay.
listening.
I got you flowers. That's from Stranger Than Fiction.
Is it?
Yeah, he got her a thing and it had like 24 different types of flour. 'Cause she was a bakeress.
That's bigger than fiction. Which movie is that?
Stranger Than Fiction. It's Will Ferrell and
Oh, that's why I haven't seen it.
what's that? Maggie Gyllenhaal, maybe.
Oh.
Me. I don't know.
I mean,
You mean what?
We'll find out.
Did you say she was a Donna Bakerst?
that was a stretch.
Yes.
Kidding.
I thought it was a good movie.
Did you?
Yeah. Oh no, our T-Rex is gonna run into a cactus.
I thought it was.
Oh no! Oh, okay.
I realized
Oh,
after I
it makes a noise.
started it that it
Down
was gonna
again?
make noises.
Is the internet down
The
again?
internet's broken,
Again.
so I can't look up who was in that movie, but I liked it.
It shouldn't be.
Hmm.
It's on my computer, maybe.
Anyway, what's your least favorite thing about DVD? Just kidding. DVD's thinking about it.
The apostrophe.
Oh, is this not a question for me?
No.
Oh.
Well, I was looking at you when I asked
so many
it.
things.
The belly button thing was kind of weird.
Yeah, for sure.
I found my balance white picture the other day.
And that's Nerdiculture.
Should we just put that as our picture?
No,
Just the pig part.
it's disturbing.
All right.
All right, for technology, do you guys know what the most common U.S. Federal Aviation Administration complaint is?
Um,
That
Not
they
too
know.
long?
when you ask for peanuts, they give you those little pretzel things.
No.
Oh.
It's that the planes are too loud when they land. So people that live near airports,
Oh, not the people on the plane?
no, those
Complain!
people don't
They
care.
complain?
Yes. So NASA is teaming up with aircraft manufacturers to make airplanes quieter.
Just never let
They're
them
teaming
land.
up with the bouncy house manufacturers.
Okay, guys,
Parachute out!
jump out.
Yeah, then find your feeling.
Ooh.
How do you get on the plane?
Slingshot. Skyhook.
There you go.
There's a big mitt on the top of the airplane that catches them.
Skyhook would be awesome.
So what they are focusing on is what they call airframe noise. So it's the noises that the plane makes not related to the engines. So
Like if you're in the
just
bathroom,
no.
those noises.
So the biggest causes of airframe noise are from the landing gear.
When it lands, hits the ground.
No, when they put the gear down when they're landing, it creates a lot of noise from
Oh.
air turbulence and stuff. And then also there's now behind the wheel a big hole where the wheel came out of, and that creates cavitation noise and stuff. And then also the little flaps that come up on the top aft part of the wing to slow them
So
down.
they say
and
we
stuff.
shouldn't be able to land with landing gears, and we shouldn't be able to slow down with flaps.
Well, when they're
The
landing,
flaps have air horns.
it's when they're
so
nearest to the ground, and so that's when people hear them the most.
Why can't people just realize this is really cool? We can actually get from one place to another like really quickly, and we have to do a little noise.
It is cool.
Or they
And
can move.
maybe you shouldn't move next to an airport and then complain about it.
Because we used to have
but-
like a supersonic
but
jet,
that's
right?
not the
The
American
SST.
way.
They no longer have them anymore because people complain they're too loud.
Yeah. So here's what they've done. So they're testing out different fairings that they can put on the front of the landing gear
Sounds fair.
that makes it not so noisy.
Why don't they just parachute out like earplugs every time they land? If it's too loud, puts them on.
Well, they could add these little features and make the plane 70% quieter.
Noise
Or
canceling
they could
speakers.
remove 70% of the airframe noise, and then it solves the problem efficiently.
What about the crying babies inside?
You can't hear that from the ground.
Oh, I thought he was talking about the ones that were complaining about the noise.
Another thing they did was around the opening for the landing gear, they put like these chevron-shaped pieces that divert airflow around it, and then they put foam pieces in there, and even like a mesh across it that comes down with the landing gear, and that keeps that void from making these hollow cavitation sounds. And then
So we can avoid the noise.
yes,
Does it make it quieter inside the plane too?
It makes it louder.
yeah,
Just flick on the sound
it
button.
actually would.
Oh.
Made the planes out of wood.
No,
It's Bruce Goose.
The problem with the flaps too is most of them when they come up, there's a gap that forms between the flap and the wing,
Makes a
and
whistling
that's
noise.
where a lot of the noise comes from. And so they're experimenting with materials that just bend instead of
like
being a solid piece that goes up.
Like a compliant mechanism.
Yeah, they actually call it a flexible
member.
I don't
something.
know. Growing up around airplanes, I seem to remember them taking off being the loudest part.
Maybe they're different kinds of planes.
Well, that's not so. That's probably more engines and less airframe noise.
Yeah.
But some of these features would help with that too.
But also when they
Take
land,
off.
they also reverse their engines, don't they? That's a loud noise too.
Yeah, but by then they're on the ground.
Now they have disposable engines. They just drop the engines off before you land.
According to Elon Musk,
Into the subdivisions.
not having landable aircraft or spacecraft is like taking an airplane up and having a parachute out and just crashing the plane every time. It's like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
It's expensive. Plus, I just said Elon
And
Musk.
that's Technergy.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
All right, I've got some news.
Is it warm and fuzzy?
Oh, no.
No, it's
Oh.
square and no, not square. Triangular and circular,
Whoa.
I know what it is.
alternatingly. So
Oh.
DARPA has been working with the military to improve their vehicles. And one of their improvements is they now have wheels that will change shape on the fly. So they can go from a round wheel for smooth surfaces for fast travel to a track,
A
with
flat
triangular
wheel.
track basically for getting grip on soft surfaces.
Mhm.
They can do it while moving.
Can they do decahedrons?
It's really weird when
No.
you see it start to transform because the rim stops moving, but the
And it makes
track
this
and
noise.
tread. It's an ad though. They're trying to. They cost more money to get that.
Oh, okay.
So
Now people are complaining about the transforming noises.
so it starts by making it so the tread turns it, or the tread of the what looks like a tire turns into a tread of like a tank. So even though it's round still, the rim stops moving, and the tread keeps on going as the rim changes shape to a triangle, so it has a flat spot in the ground, which is pretty cool.
It's nifty.
They're smart people. That's what they are. Then they have some other advancements they're making with their suspension systems.
Mm-hmm.
So they have one they can get like 6 feet of difference between the two, so they can like drive with the body of the vehicle flat on like a 45-degree flat or side angle.
Mm-hmm.
So one side of the wheels is way down, the other side's up, and they're just driving flat.
Need that for lawnmowers.
Yes, they do. Well, it's a really weird looking lawn.
They get, that's how you get Minecraft lawn.
Oh yeah.
Yes. If you have a steep slope.
So it's squarish.
Yes. So I roll on some of this stuff in my truck because
Go
you
down
can
your
get out
truck.
anywhere. Yes. Think about
You
it.
should have it so the mirrors change shape too.
So they avoid trees.
Yes.
So my son doesn't ram him into a tree and break the plastic
Yes.
case. Those are expensive to replace, by the way.
Yeah, the mirrors.
The trees.
Those two.
The boys.
The boys.
And I thought for my random news, I would give a report on our last D&D adventure.
Oh, okay. That sounds good. Sounds
So,
warm and fuzzy.
We were over at LFG's house and had a barbecue, and then we played some outdoor D&D, minus the LARPing.
Minus the LARPing.
We did not live action roleplay. So our intrepid band of adventurers finished up their cave with the fastest defeat of the main boss I'd ever seen. And it started with LFG just rushing the room.
That created kind of a distraction.
Yeah, everyone like looks at him, but then your wife came in with her dragon breath and like took out like 3 in a row.
Yeah,
Toasted them.
she toasted them. Then I did a shoulder roll and like sniped a guy up on a
Yeah, he
balcony.
like took out the
Oh,
leader
yeah.
of them.
With one shot from its crossbow.
And usually the leader has a chance to like try to negotiate, or
Or
he has a
rough
Because
up-
he has
chance
a
to
rough up
hostage.
the hostage.
kill the hostage. He didn't have a chance to do anything. He just like took an arrow
Well, I
to the
took a
face.
couple out with my ice daggers.
So it was
Those
really
were
cool.
Oh yeah.
I'm glad that we finally got rid of out of the cave, because now I can retire that map somewhere instead of carrying it around with me every time I play. We ended up back in the city where LFG and my wife seem like they're not meshing with the rest of the group very well.
They're trying to go off on their own. to make some shady side deals.
Yeah. So we need to figure out how to stop
Which is
that.
weird when you can hear them
I know.
talking about it, but you
Your
have to
character
pretend
can.
like your character doesn't know.
It's like when you're in court and the lawyer says, instructs the jury to disregard
Right.
Disregard the
Which-
knife that he just
I
plunged
want to
into
tell
my
them that
side.
I've watched quite a bit of D&D online.
Yeah.
And when parties split, they usually end up coming back together with violence, and characters get killed.
oh, like violence with each other?
Yes, that's typically what happens.
But if we kill off LFG, then we can't have barbecues at his house and play D&D anymore.
You just have to get a new character.
Oh,
You just roll a new character. So yeah, it's fun that you guys finally got to the town, and there's all kinds of places you go from there. I can't wait to see what happens. And someday maybe I'll get someone to DM so I can play.
never. Oh, just kidding.
It's a lot of work, but it's fun.
Well, good.
I've been world building, and I was trying to explain to a
That's part
coworker.
of the funnest part.
Yeah, I was explaining to my coworker all this different stuff, and she's like, "Now, where did this come from?" I was like, "Oh, I made this all up." She's like, "Okay,
Stay away from me.
stranger danger. No stranger than him."
I did confirm it is Maggie Gyllenhaal in that movie.
I'm sorry.
So I thought it was
I
fine.
appreciate her.
I thought it was Will Ferrell you didn't appreciate.
I don't like either one of them. So
Oh,
that's why I
okay.
haven't seen that movie.
I don't like Will Ferrell.
I've never heard of the movie, so that's why I haven't seen it.
You should see it.
The funniest thing I saw Will Ferrell in was he did a show with Bear Grylls
Elf?
where there's dual survival or something. And so Bear goes off to like investigate this ice cliff they're gonna have to try to climb down. And Will opens the backpack and eats all the energy bars they had. It's like,
Well, Stranger Than
That's
Fiction
pretty
is not a comedy.
oh. Is that the one where
Is
someone's
it
writing his life?
nonfiction?
Yeah,
Oh, okay, I've seen
it is fiction.
Oh.
It's stranger than fiction.
It's a
Usually-
how-to.
Usually truth is stranger than fiction, isn't that how the saying goes?
Well, that's the thing is this author is right. She writes these stories that are tragedies,
Uh-huh.
but then she runs into a character in the one that she's currently writing and
Oh.
realizes that everything she's writing is coming true.
Wasn't there a John Candy movie that was similar?
And if she kills off the
Hmm.
character, then this guy is actually going to die. But if she doesn't, then the people that are her fans are going to not like it.
Hmm.
Can't you just write him in the story that he's gonna get like $1 billion and then share it with her, and then who cares what the fans think?
Oh, that's a good idea. I don't know. It had a really interesting ending though. So
Why did the fans want that character killed off?
Didn't like
no,
it.
they just like
That's Will
her
Ferrell.
books because they're tragedies.
Oh.
Oh.
So it's Will Ferrell. They don't
So
like
he'd have to die for it to be a tragedy?
Yeah.
Trad.
They
Yeah.
could have him just
Can't
lose
she
his
just
legs or
make him
something.
turn into a paraplegic or something? That'd be tragic.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah. Well, you'll just have to see what happens.
Lose all his hair, like a tragic fire accident. Get attacked by rabid baboons. I just start writing stuff to watch it happen. That'd be funny. And that's the news.
Okay.
Consumption.
Dost thou
So
hast
I watched
harvest
Three Amigos
the
again.
Three Amigos.
Dun, dun, dun.
It's weird to hear the sound effects without the motions.
Yeah. What can I say? It's a good movie still.
It's
Yeah.
a very good movie.
I also watched Darkest Hour.
I think I have it in 3 different media types.
The World War II one.
Yes.
Oh, with Gary Oldman.
Yes.
Nice.
Oh, is that the one where he's playing Churchill?
Yes.
Churchill.
Yes, I love that movie. Very
You
good.
see it too?
Yeah, I've seen it.
I thought it was pretty good. I watched it with my youngest daughter and my wife. And my youngest daughter, even though she claimed she wasn't paying attention, she laughed a couple times.
Oh.
Like when he gave the wrong hand signal to the press?
No,
Oh.
but when the Halifax was interrupting him, or was talking, and Churchill interrupts him, and then Halifax tries to keep talking. He's like, "How dare you interrupt me when I'm interrupting you?" She thought that was so funny.
Sure, cool.
Yeah. What's his name? Oldman put a lot of research into the character of Churchill, and try to include a lot of his idiosyncrasies and things.
No.
And I think I've seen Churchill portrayed in other shows, but I think this one you really kind of got a good feel of Churchill.
If it was a human.
Yes, that
like
he's a
character,
human.
Yeah.
Not just like some guy that came in.
Reptilian.
What?
Salamander.
Oh, that's the
He's
monarch.
the
That's
bee.
the royalty. That's reptilian aliens.
But so it's funny we have the Netflix DVD thing. Well, the previous movie we watched was The Darkest Hour,
Oh yeah.
and then we watched Darkest Hour, and
That's
then
why I was confused when you
the
said
movie.
you watched
I know the
Tower
movie that
last
we
time.
got next is Dark Tower, which Darkest Tower, get it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm
You
sure
guys
the
are
people at
strange.
Netflix are going, what the heck's
Bro,
happening here?
I
Oh,
don't think
Surprised
anybody actually knows.
Probably
I'm
not.
surprised they don't have a rule that negates that. It's not allowed.
You have activated Rule 53. You must watch
too many
something else.
similar sounding names.
Well, it's almost like this guy must not know. He
I know,
kind of
that's
knows the
Was
title,
it this
but
one?
That's what I was thinking.
I saw this movie
You know,
once.
I discovered a lot
they
of
ordered
music.
the wrong one.
I
Now they're
discovered a
going-
lot of music in the '90s, trying to order what I thought was the album that had the song I wanted from PMG or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
That's actually how I got my favorite album.
Huh.
Lighter Shade of Brown. I was trying to get the one that had Spill the Rhyme.
Yeah. All of us
Callback.
watched the Guyana Buffalo,
Oh,
yeah.
It's so funny.
all the episodes.
It's funny, but there's
It's Take
4
My Cue,
episodes. Before I saw the 4th one, I'd seen the first 3 like 3 times. Because we watched them
Oh,
after
right.
we podcasted last week, but we only watched the first 3.
The best part of that was my kids going, "How have we not seen this? It's on the internet."
And then at LFG's, I was watching them with my wife, and we only got through the first 3.
Oh, okay.
And then we watched them with
The
the
last one's kind of funny.
kids,
Yeah,
and I
morbid.
finally saw the 4th one.
They're kind of violent,
Well, yeah, a little bit.
Especially the
but it's
fourth.
cheaper than adoption.
On a buffalo.
Anyway, that's my consumption.
One day, a podcaster on a buffalo watched a movie called The Boy.
The boy.
It
Was
had
it the boy
Maggie
and the,
from The
Second
Walking
Fly?
Dead.
Get your whole consumption like this?
She becomes a nanny of a kid.
And punch her in the face.
Step on your foot.
Ouch.
You put a oven on your foot with no
Yeah.
or step on your foot.
So it's about this
Boy.
woman
Like a
that
fly
What's it called? The boy then.
named Maggie.
in a bubble?
Well, she goes to the UK to kind of get away from this bad abusive relationship, and so she's gonna become like a nanny for this kid while the kid's folks are on vacation.
She shoots invisible swordsman.
No, what does that have to do with anything?
It's part of the incantation woman was doing. Nanny.
Oh,
Okay.
random. But she gets there and the kid is just a doll, but the parents treat it, especially the mom, treat it like it's a real kid. Like she talks to it, carries it around.
Is it a boy doll?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
My buddy.
the boy that she's supposed to be the
Poor
nanny
buddy.
of
You got
is
beat up so
actually a
bad.
doll, but the mom totally treats it like it's a real boy,
I'm a real boy.
and she has
I was waiting for
Was
that.
there a whale at the end? Or a cricket?
and
Turns into a
The
dog.
whale
she
plays
even
cricket.
has to like get it up, get it dressed, give it lessons, like read poetry and
What kind
play
of doll was this?
classical music to it, and then put it in pajamas at night and kiss it goodnight. And
Was it
Is-
fully functional? doll?
Is there like a video camera recording to make sure she does all this?
no,
She just did it anyway, huh?
She was reverting back to middle
It-
school with her fake baby.
some of it.
Turns out it's just a sack of flour.
I had I procrastinated mine, and mine was a 5 pound bag of sugar.
Oh, and that's sweet.
It was creamy.
Anyways,
Anyway.
it was pretty good. So some strange things happen.
Stranger Things?
Ooh, is it possessed?
You'll have to watch. It's on Netflix.
Is it a horror movie?
It wasn't that scary.
Okay, was it funny?
You know my
Okay,
favorite
it's a
horror
horror
movie is,
movie.
right?
It was very amusing.
Alright, it's a horror movie. It's so scary you shouldn't watch it with your kids.
Was Richard
Yeah,
Gere in it?
probably shouldn't watch it with your kids. But
Okay, see, I got to get rid of the. All right.
one we did watch with the kids was called Power Rangers.
Power Rangers.
The new
What
one
is this?
from
I've
last
never heard
year.
What do you think?
It's definitely
the
for
old one better?
kids. I haven't seen the old one,
Oh.
but the kids loved it. It was kind of schlocky and a lot of tropes getting used and thrown around,
Just what kids love.
and very predictable. And the part where they're actually Power Rangers at the end was only seemed like a few minutes.
Did it look like it was setting up for a sequel?
Yeah, well, so there is an after credits scene
It
Ooh,
was?
how Marvel's.
where they mention the name of, if you know anything about Power Rangers, there's 5 of them. There's like red, black, yellow, blue, and pink.
Polka dot.
Yes.
And then in some of the series,
The white
I've
one.
learned this from my kids watching it, a Green Ranger shows up, and his name's Tommy. And in
Tommy
the
the
after
Green
credits
Ranger.
scene,
Actually, Tommy's also a White Ranger in the original.
oh,
What?
Huh?
but
I don't know anything about Power
if
Rangers.
you didn't know that the Green Power Ranger's name was Tommy, the after credit scene would make no
I thought it was
sense.
Billy.
No, that's the blue one.
Oh, Billy. The original Red Power Rangers from Napa, Idaho.
No. So it's about these kids that
I don't know anything about Power Rangers. though.
don't really know each other. They all end up finding these coin things at the same time, and then they end up getting like superpowers, and they have to train to learn how to morph into the Power Rangers to fight this space chick that's trying to kill Earth by taking some crystal that
Copper, all its copper.
allows the planet to have life.
The Arc Stone.
And predictably,
Wait, what's that called?
they
Arc
join
Stone.
into this big Voltron
Arkansas?
thing and easily
Arkansas.
handle the villain. So,
Yes, let him handle this easily. Oh, wait.
and Guyana Buffalo, which was far less predictable than Power Rangers.
Very
Yeah.
I had no
He's straight
idea
up mauled by a cougar.
how he was.
Yeah, you're kidding.
I thought he was going to tie the buffalo up outside the bar.
Oh.
Yeah.
Goes right in. The
Uh,
Diamond Palace, I think is what it's called.
Crystal
Palace. Palace.
That's funny. Watch Guyana Buffalo.
Well, I watched what is now probably my second favorite Jurassic Park movie of the 5. Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom.
That's the new one.
I didn't even know that was out.
Yes,
Came out
it's
last
in the
week,
theater.
didn't it?
Yep.
Oh.
Took the wife to it. I know it was a good Jurassic Park movie when I left with Velociraptor wounds.
Is that when your wife like grabs you?
I should not have worn shorts because she had easy access to flesh.
Oh,
Ah! One point, she actually pulled her feet off the floor under a chair and tucked up her legs and like tried to hide behind her hands.
So
you know it was bad when he came out dripping ketchup.
Yes. It was very good.
Oh, that'll look
I
forward
liked
to
it a
it.
lot. It's got
Chris
this is
Pratt.
Chris Pratt.
oh, I was gonna say Star-Lord, but yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
that reminds me, Chris Pratt. So,
Yes.
I didn't include this in my consumption because I didn't sit down and watch it. I was on while I was playing a game, but
Right.
Big Trouble in Little China
Oh, that's a
yeah.
good one.
with
It does not have Chris Pratt in it, does it?
no, but it has Kurt Russell. And after I did watch the last couple minutes with my wife, and I were sitting there like, if they remade this movie,
Oh,
do you know who I would think would make a good
Eddie
main
Murphy.
character? And she sat there for a
Saint
second,
Jimmy.
and she's like, Chris Pratt. I'm like, yeah, that's what I thought too.
Yeah, he could do it.
So
He'd be perfect for that.
on either side of watching Jurassic World,
They'd
I
probably
watched
make it The Rock. though.
another movie called Wanted.
Oh,
It was at like an hour and 45 minutes before we had to leave for the movie.
what's her face?
And Angelina Jolie.
Yeah.
Chris Pratt's in it.
Oh,
He plays the main character's best friend, who's having an affair with his girlfriend.
Yeah, that's kind of funny.
He hits him with a keyboard at one point in the face. Really
Yeah.
hard. I forgot he was in it. I was like, oh, that's Chris Pratt. Look how young he looks.
Because last time you watched it, you didn't know who Chris Pratt
And then I'm
was.
continuing to try to battle the psychological damage I did to myself with Star Wars Episode 1.
Oh,
where when they had it on VHS, we'd come home from church, I'd sit my oldest son Zach on the floor with that in, watching it, while I took my afternoon nap on the couch.
Oh, that's why he talks like Jar Jar. Just
Yeah.
kidding.
Misa
Zach.
I cannot watch that movie without, even if I'm fully awake when I start, at some point I'll fall asleep during that movie because I've trained my brain. It's sleepy time.
Oh.
So I made it farther than I usually do. Almost to the end of the pod race. I was watching the pod race and they were coming out the last lap, almost finished, and then I woke up and it was like they were fighting the Gungans were fighting the.
He wakes up and there's
It's like,
Ewoks fighting
What's
the
going on?
stormtroopers.
It's like, dang it! But yeah, I made it farther than I usually do. And I like the movie. I really enjoy it. I like Watto. I like a lot of the characters.
His favorite's Jar Jar.
Darth Banks, you mean? It's better if you watch it.
Darth Binks.
Darth Banks. Yes, it is. From now on. I thought I'm writing a short story, which is basically that movie, but from Darth Banks' perspective. So you notice every time anyone starts to pay attention to him, he does something stupid. So he's trying to reinforce that character so he can maintain his cover.
That explains you on this show so well.
Oh. Darth Biddy.
What do you think the D stands for?
You're not supposed to know!
Every time I look at him, he says something stupid. Oh.
And then I watched a show, all of it. It's one season worth.
I watched them. I watched them all.
Called Hollywood Weapons.
Oh, I almost watched that.
It's really good. So they take things you wouldn't think would be possible from TV and movies, involving weapons, and then they test them like Mythbusters.
Wanted?
They didn't do that one.
Oh, Mythbusters did.
Yeah, but you can't do something where the main characters have like supernatural powers.
That's true.
But they tested a lot of the ones that you wouldn't think would be possible, and they turned out to be like they did. They did some Rambo ones, and there's one scene in First Blood where he goes into the outdoor store in the small town, piles up all the ammunition and like fuel for like lanterns and stuff in a big pile, and then takes a bunch of black powder and pours it on it, and then makes a trail out the door, and then shoots it with his M60. Lighting the trail on fire, and goes and blows up the place. They tested it. You can actually light it on fire.
Does he just hate outdoor stores?
He was living out in the woods, and then it seems like there's bad people that were running the town or something. And they came up to hunt him or something.
That was in First Blood?
I think so. The first Rambo takes place in a small town in Oregon or something.
I was thinking of a different movie, I guess.
And then they tried, shooting like a big huge gun, where he's like from the hip shooting the huge machine gun. They found out the actor could hold, or the guy could hold it up. It's not an actor; it's an ex-Green Beret, I think, or Special Forces guy that's doing the show.
Okay.
But you couldn't keep the gun stable enough, and it kept on jamming. So you get maybe a couple rounds, and then it would jam. But if you grab the front, you could then do it. Which you watched in the
Raspberry Jam.
Yeah,
okay.
You watched in the Rambo movie, and there's a scene where he like shoots it one-handed, but just for a short time, and then later you see him shooting it two hands. And then they did Predator, which is cool.
Ooh.
So they actually went and talked to the actor that had the minigun in Predator, and he came out and watched him do their tests, whatever. And he's really tall. I didn't realize the actor was as tall as he is.
Huh.
He's like 5'8".
No, he's probably like 6'6" at least.
Okay. I was just making a joke off how short actors tend to be.
But so they let the main guy at the show shoot a minigun with blanks like they did in the movie, but they wouldn't let him shoot live rounds because it puts 256 pounds of force backwards at you.
Whoa!
And it wasn't safe to have something that shoots thousands of rounds a minute like that.
He would like fall over and shoot everybody on the crew.
Right. Because they're supposed to be mounted in a helicopter or something like that. And I found out why they're called miniguns when they're pretty big. Because the
they shoot the same as many guns.
The A-10 Warthog, which is a military plane used to destroy tanks, is basically a huge Gatling gun that they built a plane frame around. So it's a flying Gatling gun. So this is a mini version of that. That's what they call it.
As opposed to the Mickey version.
They're saying if it could actually take down Jungle like they did, he like goes crazy at a point in Predator and cuts down trees.
But can it kill a predator?
I don't know. I didn't test that one.
Okay.
Another really cool one I saw was because I just watched the movie recently. Was they were testing Jaws, the scene where the shark has the scuba tank in its mouth, and the guy while laying, I'd forgotten this, but this boat he was on is mostly sunken at that point.
Mm-hmm.
He's laying on the mast. It's like 20 degrees off the water on his side with an M1 Garand shooting it. And they figured it was about 120 yards away. It was moving at 12 feet per second at him. And he shot at it 6 times before he finally hit the tank and it blew up.
Mm-hmm.
So he had this ex-Special Forces guy laying on the thing, all ready with the M1 Garand, with a, the same target, coming towards him on wheels. They weren't doing it in the water.
Right.
And I think he hit 3 out of his 6 rounds,
Wow.
like right into the end of it, which he wasn't sure you could hit without moving. So they proved that you could hit the target, but so they had the big, huge shark mock-up they brought in with the tank in its mouth, and when he shot it, it did what I thought would happen. This whole thing's on wheels. It spun around like 1.5 times because it was just shooting pressurized air out the side.
Yeah.
Like one of those firecrackers.
Yeah, there's a lot of force in there, but yeah, it just didn't.
That would have made
That's
the
close enough.
movie a whole lot different if the show had started going.
Right.
It turns into Curly
It's
from
kinda
the Three
cool.
Stooges.
So check it out. I highly recommend it.
It's on
The first
Netflix.
episode, he like goes to the special effects shop that does weapons. So they actually have real weapons and stuff, and they do all the safety in movies and whatever. And you think the guy's just this, but then he ends up becoming part of the show, where the main guy's constantly calling him in weird ways, and he's hamming it up pretty good. I think they do a pretty good job. Like he's constantly annoyed at the guy. It's funny. So check that out. All Weapons. I think it's on Netflix.
Yeah, I saw it in there.
And then I started watching Supernatural again.
Supernatch.
And I got my youngest son. No, started off where I left off in season 11.
Okay.
So I got my youngest son watching it though, because he came in when I was watching an episode where there's someone killing imaginary friends.
Oh.
So,
Spoilers. I'm not there yet. Just kidding.
but this one guy that gets killed is named Sparkles. He's got like a unicorn horn, and this person kills him. But the only person that can see the imaginary friend is a little kid. So she comes home from wherever she was, and in her bedroom is her best friend, like, murdered with blood everywhere. And the 2 Supernatural guys go up there with the girl's mom, pretend to be psychologists, or child psychologists. And she's, like, picking up stuff and straightening the room. And then she picks up this teddy bear that's, like, covered in blood and puts it on the bed. And then she's, like, at one point grabs like this on her head. So she's got, but she can't see it. And then, my son was laughing so hard. We were both laughing pretty hard. So I thought that's what the show was probably like most of the time. It's pretty lighthearted in later seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I went back and started watching episode 1 recently. He's like, it's
Oh,
pretty dark, isn't it? He's like, yeah, a couple of us had to stop and go to something else. So, and then I watched Darren Brown Miracle, which is like a psychological magic show on Netflix.
Oh. All I saw was Brown Miracle. Because it's on the next line. I was like, that doesn't sound good.
It's like Miracle on Ice, but different. One of the things he did in there, he's like a mentalist. They got this lady from the audience to come up, and she smashed a light bulb on the table on this napkin. And then he
very nice.
had her put a piece of the glass on his tongue, and then he chewed it up and ate it. But then he talked her through doing the same thing. It was weird. You could tell she was kind of freaked out, but she did what he asked. Anyway. So
it tastes like chicken.
So check that out. It's interesting. And that's all I'm going to talk about.
Yay.
Okay.
I mean, thanks.
So that's the least thing I dislike about it.
Okay, so I've been reading a book. It's a trilogy. I'm on the last book, and it's Dungeon Born, and it's by Dakota Kraut, and it's one that my oldest son, has been talking about for years, and so I finally picked it up. And it's very interesting because it's like there's a dungeon that people are going in, and as they kill the monsters and stuff inside, they acquire essence, and then they're able to increase their essence and like go up in ranks and stuff. But the dungeon is controlled by a, I don't know what you would call him.
Mumra?
No, just,
Everliving?
he's like a
Oh.
gem, but he has a conscious and he's able to create. He also is, when people die, he gets their essence and then he's able to go up in ranks. And so he gets stronger and makes bigger what he calls mob bosses for the different rooms and expands and gets bigger. And so it's his relationship with the guy who owns the land relationship, because he ends up becoming dungeon born because he almost dies in the dungeon, and the dungeon saves his life because he's able to heal his body. And then in order to do that, he had to put a, what do they call it? Like a
Peanut butter?
Rice
Yep.
Krispie
He
treat.
says to
Exactly.
his sister, "I'm done, Jen."
anyway, so he gives them they call him a beast core in his body, so then they're able to communicate. Anyway, so it's really interesting. There's zombies at one point, and
Sounds like
because there's
Dungeons and Dragons.
necromancers in it, and anyway, I've really enjoyed.
Necromancer's different than necro wafers.
Yes. But it's really good.
Necromancers are people.
I'm reading it on the Kindle Unlimited.
Cool.
And then I'm watching a show called Being Erica, and it's on.
It's like being human, but
Yeah.
people pretend to be Erica.
No, it's this lady. She meets up with a psychologist, and the psychologist is like, "I'm willing to help you with some of your issues, but you have to."
She's like, I don't have issues.
No, she admits it. She's like, I've done so many things in my life that I regret, and I feel that if
Killing
I
all
had
those
made different
children.
choices throughout my life, then my life would be better, because she'd lost her job and all this stuff. And so the psychologist is like, "Hey, I'm willing to help you, but you have to be committed." And so she says she's committed, and what he does is they go through her list of regrets, and she is able to
committed.
go back into her body at that age and change what choices she made.
So is it like butterfly effect?
When you said she got committed, I put her to rubber room.
No, well, the changes that they might make in her present time aren't. I mean, it's not so significant that her life's completely
So it's
different.
psychologically beneficial.
Yeah, because she does talk about the benefits of the different aspects of her life, and like she was a bully, or didn't prevent some girl in high school being bullied, and so her regret was that she didn't step in to stop it. So she was able to go back and then step in and stop it, and a lot of times it reveals something about her past that she didn't know. Like, her friend acted this way because of this thing, and she hadn't realized that. And then when she goes back, she's able to have more insight into her friends. And anyway, I find it really interesting, and
Sounds interesting.
I've enjoyed it.
So people most able to stop bullying are actually the bullies.
The more you know.
I'm ready for the jingle. I'm like the little star.
They're always talking about bullies, but what about the female cows?
Your cowies.
I got cowied today at work.
Are the cows as mean as the bulls?
I guess
Not
not.
bulls.
Burrs.
I think about what the bulls do to the cows. It's unfortunate. Moving on.
Okay, let's do nerd cred.
Oh, I didn't show up. I thought I entered it.
Well,
entered
you're
it
not
on my-
good. You
It's
don't know
not
how to work
online.
technology.
Oh, I updated it on my
Oh, I was
device.
Is that your nerd credit? You can't update technology.
Aw. So we went hiking while we were on vacation, and we went hiking. Sorry, I'm out of breath. I had to run down and move my car. Oh,
You could have. Did you not have the key?
I have the
Oh.
key in my pocket.
Okay.
Anyway,
Oh, she's gotta go
we
to
went
the dock.
hiking along this river.
And
And
blood and peanut butter.
no, it was just regular water.
I don't think that makes a good combination.
Blood and peanut butter.
No.
Does
Blood
not
and butter.
flow very well.
I got an episode title.
Blood and peanut butter. Anyway, I noticed that my daughter and her fiance went further down the river than us, so I was making sure to keep them in eye shot, because I'm a dad, and I want to make sure they're
They were straight up attacked by a cougar.
And I punched it in the face. No, anyway, while I was walking, I found this
Get out of here, kitty.
piece of driftwood that was probably 7 feet tall or long, and the top of it kind of looked like the top of a staff, like a wizard would have.
Oh, and had bees in it.
No, I didn't.
No.
Anyway,
More exciting story.
they saw me walking on the beach with this thing, and at
Let my daughter go.
at one point, my wife and daughter were catching up with me, so I turned around and I put it in the ground, like, "You shall not pass." And when my daughter and her fiance came over to us, it's like, "Oh, Dad, it totally looked like you were Gandalf just then." I'm like,
Fly, you
"Yeah, that's what I
fools.
was going for."
Get off the gray.
Yes, exactly. Because I have gray hair. Well, that
White
reminds
blood.
me, we watched the Three Amigos with them,
Oh,
and I was telling him that we had talked about going to Comic-Con as the Three Amigos, and I was saying that I wanted to be Dusty Bottoms, and she's like, "Dad, I think you'd be better as Lucky Day." I'm like,
Oh.
"Why? Because of the gray hair." I'm like,
Oh. Wah, wah.
Anyway. that
Because
was my-
he would be better as Dusty Bones because he's kind of dumb.
Well, it was cool. I found out my daughter and her fiance also play Dungeons and Dragons, so we talked about that
What?
on the way to the vacation.
That's fun.
Wow. So we set up a pool in our backyard. It's just like one that kind
Billiards?
of has like the inflatable ring, and then you
So
fill
you're
it up,
gambling now? Oh,
and it's like it's only like 3 or 4 feet deep, 16 feet in diameter,
Oh, that's good size.
and
so what's the volume of water? Oh, just kidding.
3,600 gallons. It's a lot.
What's that in
Especially
cubic
if it's a little bit
inches?
sweat.
I don't know. It's mostly saliva at this point.
Oh.
We have little kids, right? There's enough fluids there too.
Oh,
So I was out there playing with my 6-year-old in the pool, and at one point I was like floating on like a ring thing, and he was just kind of pushing me around the pool, and it made me seasick. It's like,
You're old.
wow.
I remember when we were kids, we had a pool in our backyard,
Yeah, it was awesome.
and we would get jugs, like old jugs that had milk in them, and we'd fill them like partially full of water.
Oh, it's
Milk jugs. Okay, milk jugs. Empty milk jugs.
Empty?
Okay.
No jugs? Okay.
And we'd partially fill them with water, and then so they'd
Water.
float. And then we would like go around the edge of the pool.
Oh yeah, make a tidal pool.
Yeah, until the
Whirlpool.
things were
Whirlpool,
floating
right.
around the edge.
Yeah, and my kids like to do the whirlpool
It was fun.
thing. I may have taught them that.
Oh,
Those are the other things that probably weren't good safety wise.
like play on the solar cover.
Right. They'd grab onto your legs and suction cup you.
Or that time I accidentally
Drown that neighbor kid and
Push.
buried him in the yard.
You hear about that?
No, I can't remember the order it went, but I accidentally pushed our friend into the pool.
Accidentally.
And so then I immediately threw DVD in the pool too, so that he wouldn't push me in. Preemptive strike. Oh. Anyway, go ahead.
That was my
Oh,
turn?
are you done?
Yeah, I got seasick in the.
Oh, so I confused some people on Facebook.
And
I posted a picture of a dollar store action figure. It's like a
Oh.
wrestler with a folding chair
yes.
and a hippopotamus for my next project. So I'm going to make a Rossiter, which I made a picture of. It's basically my cube mate
Mm-hmm.
as a centaur, but instead of a horse, I'm using a hippo for the bottom part.
His name's Ross.
Because he's fat.
That's why
He's
it's
not.
a Ross.
He will be. He will be.
He will be.
So I'm gonna make that. It's gonna be fun. I need a heat
Cool.
gun though.
I have one.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, good. I'll borrow
Heck
it.
yeah.
I pointed out to my wife that Frank Oz played the guy in Spies Like Us that's giving the test.
Oh yes.
She's like, but he doesn't talk anything like him. Like this test you will. Anyway, go ahead.
It's also in original Blues Brothers.
Oh.
He's the one that's giving them their stuff back when they get out of jail.
Ah.
So yeah, I've got some ideas of how I'm gonna make this Rossiter. And if I screw it up, The components are only $1 each.
Oh, good job.
Well, I have been playing a lot of Hogwarts Battle.
Oh, that's a good game. I beat Box 2 by myself.
I've been introducing it to all my friends. My older boys, I only got they would only play with me. We made it through all 7 games once, but then I have to like bribe them to play with me again.
Aw.
So I've been introducing it to my friends, and so one day my friend came over and she got there at 9 in the morning, and we got cocky and thought we could start on game 3, and lost 2 almost 3 times. About 5 minutes in the 3rd round, we're like, dude, we just got to start from 1. So we started from 1, and we played up, lost 5, and then kept going. And at 7 o'clock at night, we finally beat game 7.
Whoa.
We took about half an hour lunch break because we had to feed the kids. But and inspired by DVD, I played all by myself. I had to do it in chunks. I couldn't do it all in one
Did
sitting.
you play with multiple characters? Or
I've just
one character?
one.
That's what I've done that too.
But the 7th round, I had to reshuffle the Hogwarts cards because I didn't have any cards that let me roll the dice.
Oh, yeah.
And so I couldn't get rid of my Horcruxes. And they were all 5 or 6 galleons, and I was so early in the game that I couldn't ever get more than 4.
You should get the expansion box then.
It's even harder.
Hard.
Yeah, I tried playing that with some people at the wedding.
My wife and I got stuck where the last thing you have to get rid of requires you to kill 3 enemies all at once. But we only had 2 enemies and Voldemort.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
And
man.
it was impossible. We're like, and we didn't know that until we flipped it over because it took us forever to get the second one.
Yeah.
Flipped it over, like,
Yeah.
I guess we're done.
You lose.
Something else I had to do, which I wasn't sure was allowed, so you'll have to let me know.
We'll make it legal.
No. Okay. So, because it took me so long to get dice, I waited. I had Voldemort, and then 1 villain was covering him, and then I had 3 villains on the board, but I wasn't adding attacks to them until I was done with the Horcruxes. Even though
Yeah, you can do that.
I read through the rules. I'm like, there's nowhere
just
that
discard
says
their
you
attacks.
have to use them. It just said if you don't use them, you have to discard them.
Yeah.
So I was throwing away attacks left and right every round,
Yeah.
trying to get my Horcruxes
We do that all the time.
on. Okay, good. I was like, hopefully this is St. Jimmy approved, because
Oh, yeah.
he's the official.
That's why I like Dungeons and
Guru.
Dragons, because as a dungeon master, I just make up the rules, but I don't know.
Yeah, I've never played that, so I'm hoping to be
We're
able to
hoping
play
to
it.
roll a character for you, and we'll have a little camp. I've got it. When I started my kids on, they wanted to play, so I made up a little scenario within an hour, so we're running through that.
Cool.
With anyone else who wants to play, after you make your character. So start thinking about what kind of
I don't know anything about it, so you'd have
I'll
to tell
show
me what.
perfect.
Yeah, you'd have to
You can
explain
be
a lot to me.
a droid, a bantha, a hut.
A Doug.
Okay, so
If you
something
want
else
really
I
long
did
legs.
yesterday, I went to
Really?
OMSI, the Oregon Museum of Science
Be a
and
midichlorian.
Industry, and there was the robotics thing. And usually when I go through museum type things, I get through the first half of a sentence on any explanation of anything, and I'm bored and I walk on. And actually, all the robotic stuff it kept my interest. I was able to read through all the description of all the different things the robots done, and it was pretty cool. They had one that was on this big ladder that went up the wall, and it was just would slowly like climb up, and my 6-month-old little boy was enthralled. So we just stood there and watched it for quite a while because he kept him from crying and fussing. And
There's some crazy robots now. Like, I've been watching Boston Dynamics videos for years. They've been slowly improving their robots. Until the most recent one I saw is their robot. It's bipedal, just like walking quickly through the forest by itself. With no,
Soon they'll be able to answer your door in
Hunting
butthole.
humans.
yes, just add a machine gun and you've got Skynet.
there was some there that I was like, wouldn't ever want to see that.
In the dark alley.
There's a really
Anywhere.
cool robot that has wheels, like 2 wheels, and it just will roll around. It can actually jump like several feet in the air.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I could do that.
My favorite was this machine. It had these 3
Does
little
it leave
vials. This robot had 3 little vials, and they were full of it looked like M&Ms. So I'm sure it wasn't candy. And one was red, and one was blue, and one was yellow. And it dumped them out on this little board, and then really fast and sorted them. And I was like, hey, how can I make that in my kid's toy room? So it just covers the ceiling, and then before I leave, I push a button, and it just sorts all the toys for me. Like, that would be the best robot ever.
I thought about buying a shop vac just for Legos.
That's a good idea. Or
Then
why
you just put them there, put away.
get a snow shovel. Just go in
I've
there
had
and
my
scoop
kids do
them all
that
up.
with the dustpan. I'd have them go in and shovel up their Legos or
Nice.
whatever.
I always wanted to make a Lego table that had like
Made
a
out of
hole
Legos.
in the middle that you could like open up with the bins underneath. So you just like shovel it all in the middle of the
I
table.
think they have some like that, but
Sure
they're
they
like
do.
on the side.
But what I
so the
noticed,
kids
we
can
sorted
reach
all
them.
of our Legos by color. I noticed the kids don't play with them as much. There's something satisfying about digging through a bin of
And something loud about it.
Yeah, it's pretty loud.
All right, if you want to contact us, send an email to enginerdyshow@gmail.com, or you can find us on Facebook and Twitter. You can just search for Enginerdy Show there, or you can go to our website, theenginerdyshow.com, and at the bottom of the episode, you can leave a comment, or you can click to like us on Facebook. You can make faces at me while I'm talking.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was drifting off there. So.
You can support the show by going to theenginerdyshow.com and clicking through our Amazon link to do your Amazon shopping, or get a t-shirt with our logo on it.
I like to do my chopping at Amazon.
Chop all you want.
It's your fault the rainforest is gone.
Chop till you drop. And this month only, tell a friend about the show.
Only this month. They can't tell about any other one.
No, just.
Do you have any
this month.
shout outs, listener Rachel?
No.
Okay. She's hoping none of her friends hear this.
No, I
one of
talk
our-
about you guys often with my friends. I'm like, yeah, tell them about the podcast. And I've had a couple of friends that are like, oh, we listen to podcasts and blah, blah. I'm like, I only listen to one. And they're like, really? Which one is it? And so then I tell them about it. Tell them about you guys. But
I interacted a little
It's
bit
just
with,
that easy.
with
Yeah.
one of our British fans.
Oh.
He posted a picture of a thermometer or something. It was like 30.4 degrees. And he's like, I can't believe this. And I was like, wow, that's really cold. Because Celsius.
Yes.
Fahrenheit.
Those silly
I
unit
don't think-
conversions.
Just kidding.
What's it, 5/9 times
Hey,
32?
is
plus
there-
32?
fluid ounces, my bottle that I have for my son, there's the marker, and one side says UK fluid ounces, and then right underneath it says US fluid ounces, and the lines are off like by
Our
just,
fluid ounces are bigger.
I know, but I was like, is
That's
it really
right.
that?
America.